Hello, everyone. cpat here with another Exceed commentary. Today we have a very special guest here for the first time ever. It's Gear. Say hello, Gear.
Oh my god, it's me. Hello.
Gear, you've been doing a lot of work and in the commentary scene over the past couple of weeks, so I'm excited to have you here.
Yeah,
This is our first look at the what's the name? The new Challenger tournament, I believe
new
it's called.
challenger Exceed Mentor tournament.
That's a name and a half. For people who don't know, actually, Gear, why don't you explain kind of the premise of the tournament for us? Because this is the first game I'm casting, so maybe my audience is not really
Sure. The I
familiar with what you're doing.
the idea is that I came into this community a couple months ago and it was very complicated and everybody was very good. And I decided, hey, wait a minute. I want to play this game and I'm intimidated to ask people who are better than me to play. What if I made a whole tournament where the premise was we get really, really strong players and partner them with new players and teach them the game and have the new players play each other in a very low stakes, learning focused tournament, and that's what this is. We are at round
Cool.
3 of bracket now, so we're coming up on the end of it after about like 6 or 7 weeks of this event.
Hmm. So what was the format? 'Cause I know you had two different halves to the tournament, basically.
Yeah, the format started out with a league system where players had to get in a certain number of games over a 4-week period. They needed to qualify for bracket. It was largely based on engagement, whether you wanted to, I wanted to reward participation in the tournament. So you got 1 point for playing in a game. You got another point for each. I'm sorry, you got 1 point for playing in a set, and then another point for each game of that set that you won. At the end of the tournament, at the end of the league, we tallied everything up and we filtered everybody into a single elimination best of 3 bracket.
Oh, so one and done.
Yep.
I did
Yep.
not realize it was single elim.
Yeah. So this is the the first and last chance for both of these players.
Interesting. Very cool.
Yeah. Um, Format of the games is a little bit different than what people are used to as well. There is a ban in effect, but also there is a kind of novel little bit of switching going on, I think, where
Hmm.
the winner of the first game chooses to stay or switch. And then in response to that, the loser of the first game chooses as well.
It's definitely an interesting premise because in Exceed tournaments, up until basically, well, from what I've seen, most tournaments, you like the best players determined by who can win with multiple characters.
Mhm.
But in your tournament, it's just who's the best player with the best character. Although there's still a ban, so I guess
Yep.
technically
Yep.
it's not even the
There,
case.
there's a ban in effect. The idea was that I wanted to reward fundamentals.
Okay.
And I think that it's very easy to knowledge check your way through at this level of play. Hang on a second. Looks like.
They're asking for bans. Why don't you
Oh
just
yeah. I will give bans 1 second.
why don't you tell them?
Yep. Uh,
So as Gear was referencing, there are bans in this tournament. Both players have a 3-character roster. Hans on red side has the Beheaded, the Plague Knight, and the Hawkman, from which Shabacka has banned the Beheaded. And Shabacka has the Chun-Li, the Guile, and the Hawkman. So we had a chance for a Hawkman mirror, but Hans has decided to ban Hawkman. So it's basically Hans has the Plague and the Hawkman, and Shabacka has the Chun-Li and the Guile.
yep, that's correct. Han's a big believer in Hakumen.
Hans is one of the most outspoken new players I've ever seen.
Yes, the Hans take is something that we've come to be very familiar with on the
I like
Discord.
it though. I like it though. I haven't seen
Definitely.
a ton of his takes, but from what I can tell, his top tier takes match up a lot with Mix.
Mhm.
So Mix believes Ken is S tier. Mix believes Hakumen is S tier. Mix believes Nine is S tier.
Yep.
Mix also believes like I think that kind of group also thinks that Platinum's another character that's underrated.
Mhm.
So actually, basically every single take I've seen from Hans, I mean, I think he posted like a full tier list, which is pretty brave to
Yep.
do, first of all.
He did, and
Um,
I don't want to say that he backpedaled on it, but he definitely said like, "This is," he was not, I don't think, arrogant about that tier list. He had a he
I mean,
clarified his.
my tier list changes every so
Yeah,
often
and
as I
he was saying,
play
you know,
more
this
characters.
is my perspective as a pretty new player, and he
Mhm.
was definitely willing um to make sure that
Qualify that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was definitely not too worried about that. I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
the competitors that we're ready.
Sure.
Uh,
Looks like they are already
yep.
off.
Looks
We're gonna
like yep,
see the
they're
Hawkman into the Chun.
Akumen into Chun. Okay. Conveniently, that's what's already on my overlay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've Ken for some reason on blue side, probably because I think the last match I casted was Ken.
Mhm. We
So let's
call
go
that
ahead.
that's the best read I'm gonna be making all set is what characters they're each playing first.
Have you casted both these players before?
Yeah, I have. Could we get a
Uh,
promotion for?
why does he
I
need to I
believe.
you're the TO,
Yeah,
so you could
I'm
decide.
okay with I'm okay with letting him be promoted. He copies his opponent's cards to use as a card tracker.
Oh, so I can promote him for a quick second, but I think I'm gonna unpromote him once the game starts then.
Okay, I think that's fine. I will let him know. Yeah, you already have let him know.
Yeah, because
I think
generally
I think that makes perfect
I don't
sense.
allow
Oh
promotions.
no,
Let me
we have
use
Taco
this.
Man out.
Taco Man?
Taco
What
Man.
oh man,
This is the result of D's phone's text or speech to text when he was driving. He was explaining something about
that's good.
Hakumen, and it went
It
very
autocorrected to Taco Man.
yes, and then Moriarty, who happened to be listening, threw it together in Photoshop in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it was a that's all I can think of for Hakumen now is that it's
This is
Taco
pretty
Man.
good for 10 minutes. He's got the nacho fries, he's got the chalupa.
Yeah, he he's I can't say anything bad about Taco Man. Taco Man is my favorite character.
This looks better than my overlay.
Oh, looks like okay. So Shabacka playing second here.
Yep, Hawkman first.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen either Hans play Hawkman or Shabaka play Chun before?
I have not seen Shabaka play Chun. I've definitely seen a little bit of the Hakumen. The um, Hans's Hakumen won very quickly in the game that I saw. I think that Hakumen is
Interesting.
his best player or his best character. He had
Oh,
some back and forth games with Beheaded and then switched to Hakumen against I think Little Creature, another new player in
okay.
the tournament, and uh, pretty confidently I think won.
Okay.
Which has the knock on effect of me not having a huge amount of data on his playstyle
I see.
because
I
he
mean,
won quickly.
if he was mentored by Mix originally,
Mhm.
then Mix plays the most boring Hawkman you've ever seen in the world. It's I mean, it's good. It's the correct way to play Hawkman.
Right.
I think
It
you want to be interacting with your yep, there it is.
yep.
The prep turtle one. Love
The
it.
turn one prep.
Love it. I mean, I turn one prep on almost every character to be fair,
Mhm.
if I'm going first, but on Hawkman especially, it's really so Hawkman can also do a really funny thing on turn one, which is play Gurren.
His
And
as the
Gurren,
attack.
yeah, and Gurren does not close, so it
Yep.
doesn't trade.
Yep. Yeah. So you just kind of deal 3 for free.
Yeah, but not really a necessary thing to do. It's only 3 damage, and you don't get the extra cards because you're striking.
Right.
See the pair. What quick parry come out?
Early parry.
Parry Yanagi.
We
That's a very interesting
we
parry.
see a lot of parries coming out of Shabaka. He is really. I think he sometimes uses it more for hand information than for anything. He goes for uh, kind of parries that he maybe doesn't really have any confidence in them hitting necessarily. He
But Yanagi is such a weird one to me because Yanagi is not. I mean, it's an okay. It's not a bad card, right? I mean,
it
catches cross at range one. I mean, if you're on center, it hits the full board.
yeah
But
it might be that he was hoping to like play fast, and Yanagi parries fasts pretty well. We don't know what that parry was on Hans's side.
parry back. It looks like probably an ultra if I had to guess.
Yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, no promos. So you're gonna have to write these cards down. We see a hand of 2/5 and one of each special, except for head stomp, I
yeah, no head
believe.
stomp, like SBK, flipping axe, lightning legs, Kikoken. Yep. Yeah, so you
Oh,
really you're not so you're threatening the Kikoken, back here with your backup?
Kikoken and spinning bird kick as well.
Yep. Spinning bird kick, notably hitting kind of everywhere.
Yeah, 1 to 2, advanced 3 will tend to hit basically everywhere.
Yep.
Especially with Chun on backside adding
Yeah.
extra range.
Late game Chun, exactly. All right, immediately getting rid of those 2 known normals.
Did he draw? Okay, looks like he drew 3 because
Yep.
he's at 7 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, I mean that's good. It's good that these players are playing on focus,
Yep.
playing on reading.
Yep, I know that that Hans really likes reading, even kind of at any stage of the game.
Oh, yeah, Hockman forgot to add a card to Gage
earlier.
Turn.
Yep. I'm noticing Shabacka also just giving Hakumen a lot of room here. A lot of room and maybe a lot of time, which is not something you want to do as Hakumen. Moving in with the assault, maintaining range 4.
Range 4. Tinge of Twinge, I didn't actually notice. But did Shabacka on his first parry
He backed
retreat
up? Yeah.
Retreat after drawing? Because he's supposed to be retreating before drawing.
Oh, I think it was before. I'm actually not. I didn't see it either.
So we see the power attack come out.
See the flipping axe kick down. Okay. So, if you're just looking for the gauge here, of the stuff that we know she has in hand, spinning bird kick is probably better if you're going to try to play it on offense here.
Kick hits. Yeah.
It would lose to dive because you're trying to play at range 1, or you would be hitting someone who is at range 1.
You also just get stunned.
Oh yeah, spinning bird kick has 4 guard. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, we've encountered a few instances of invalid game states.
Okay.
In this tournament.
I'll try to keep an eye out for that.
Yep. Same here. My rationale on it is that we are learning. +2 speed comes out. As long as the players are accepting of the game state, I'm okay to follow their lead. If there is a contest on it, then I will listen to the contest.
Hans really like shuffling his hand. Huh?
Yes, he does.
We see the ultra parry come out.
Yep. Ultra parry parrying what?
Ultra parry is the opponent must discard 3 normals.
Yep.
Or reveal a hand without.
Like we see the dive go down at least.
Oh, actually, I believe only 2 normals were discarded by Hakumen there. I think it was a focus and a dive.
And then we've got the
reveals the hand of Sentetsu, Guren, Shippu, Enma. So I mean, speed 7 Guren on deck, I guess.
Yep.
Don't really need a speed, but
yeah, I mean, so if Hakumen initiates here, which why would he? You play sweep and don't care.
Yeah, you definitely don't initiate here unless you want to give Chun 2 free gauge.
Hakumen is never going to initiate, so Chun definitely needs to be the one to beat down here.
And there's the prep. Suddenly Hakumen already has 5 gauge.
Yep. Yeah, very little interaction going on, very little threat from Chun-Li here.
Very good Hakumen gameplay, if I must say.
Shabacka also plays Hakumen. So he's got, all right, so we've got the parry, I'm sorry, the tech down. Getting rid of that +2 speed. Hakumen
really like shuffling his hand, doesn't he?
He really does, yeah.
It's interesting to see what kind of mouse motions people like. I tend to click the screen, the board a lot.
Yep.
When I'm playing.
The psychological warfare from Hans.
To see the Fumajin come out, attacks at range 4 or 5 do not hit you.
Yep.
Essentially just past turn.
In an earlier game in this event where Shabacka was playing Hakumen, Fumajin was online as a boost, 1 copy of it, for 23 minutes.
Oh.
I will show you the game sometime.
Oh,
it was one of the most interesting board states I've ever seen.
Wow. I guess this means there's an actual relevant threat. It's the Kikoken, but we're going to see the Armor
now strike. I think that you're just trying to get gauge with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not getting gauge, this is big.
Yeah, this is a potential like game losing loss if you're not racking up 3. So this is above curve, right? Like if you are,
I mean, the only above curve option that Chun has is
flipping X kick. Yeah, I feel like that's what you're that's what you're threatening here, because you're trying
I
to
hope it's not spinning bird kick.
you're
Actually,
trying
spinning bird kick still beats Gurren though.
it beats Gurren, and you saw the other dive go down, so that
Yeah,
on Hakumen's side, so that
yeah.
is actually a pretty solid play.
On top of that, both crosses are engaged, so
Yeah,
Hakumen can't just
can't just leave.
say no. Yeah,
Zantetsu, okay,
Zantetsu to try to punish.
yep,
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. Yeah, uh, you're you're playing your Zantetsu. You're losing some gauge in the process, but big gauge swing for Chun.
or Chun built 3 gauge in one
Yep,
strike there.
yep, and you're trading down on the
6 for
Zantetsu.
7.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not bad.
and you're spending 2 gauge as Hakumen. That's actually not a horrible trade by any means.
And Chun gains advantage as well. That's
Yep.
actually really good for Chun.
Yep, she can exceed.
Overall.
She can exceed right now if she wants to.
Did Hawkman spend 2 gauge there to hit?
I believe so.
Really? Hawkman at 7? Oh yeah, you're right. Zantetsu just
Yeah,
hit
he
gauge. I
he
didn't see it. Yeah,
spends
okay,
one
yeah.
to ignore armor, spends another. Yeah, he did. All right, there's the exceed out.
Take a look at this. After you, oh, and that clause is on front side. You may retreat 1.
Yep.
You see the massive come out. But for each continuous boost you have in play, your attacks have +0 to 1 range. So the OG Carmine.
Yep. Chun mine. That's not anything. That's not even a joke.
No.
All right, so massive here. Let's see. I'm trying to get better at calling these game states. So to me, the +0 range is more to catch any like cheeky crosses.
Catches cross. Yeah,
Yeah,
catches cross at range 1 with a sweep,
with
for
sweep,
example.
which makes things already pretty scary.
And then 2 armor, 2 guard just to trade up.
Yep.
There are worlds where you can pair this with assault in the same way you see defend paired with assault, and that also catches cross at range 1.
Yep, I can see that.
Also, the range is important just on the fact that Chun is probably going to be boosting and retreating
Right.
with something, with
Yeah.
anything.
Really, almost anything she's got. Like for
Yep.
example,
Power attack, second copy.
other copy of flipping axe kick already down.
Yeah. I mean, from a speed curve perspective, that is just +1/+1,
Yep.
right?
Pretty much. 1, 2, 3.
I believe
4, 5,
Hawkman
6,
immediately just
7.
prepped into that.
Yep, we've got the exceed almost ready here.
At 7, yeah.
Reading.
Wow, we're gonna see reading. Okay.
Shabacka really,
Nice.
really enjoys his parries and his readings.
Does he?
Yep.
Wonder if this is gonna be a reading into a spike just to get max. Oh,
Reading
I am
grasp.
playing spike
Yeah,
rather.
I get you. Okay, so what do you play as Hakumen here?
Depends on your read.
Yeah,
It honestly just
I
depends on
think
your read.
this if it's a spike, you're backing up into it. I'm sorry, you're backing up and then playing spike. I think spike is just as good at range 2.
Gurren pretty much will always hit. I feel like so maybe Gurren's not the bad.
Yeah,
Looks like we're going for the Gurren.
like he's
here.
going for the Gurren.
Oh wait, he like took it back though.
Yeah.
So maybe not. I mean, it just depends on your read, right? Chun at range 3 has 1 additional range. This could be, and Gurren even catches cross here if Shabaka's just playing really safe.
Yeah, it might also just be it might just, I mean, you've got massive down as well. You might just be wondering whether you want to spend a special that costs you gauge or not, or whether you can get away with playing
the other issue is with responding with Gurren is that if this is assault, it will pop it. It's actually a sweep. Interesting. So the Gurren will go first. We'll hit for
just 3.
3.
Yep. And then sweep hits for 4.
Did Hawkman discard a gauge? I feel like Hawkman did not.
I don't think so.
Because
and gauge.
Okay, you got it.
Yep. Thank you.
Interesting. Just went for the sweep there from Chun. Did not really expect that.
And loses the sweep as well on Hakumen's side.
Yep. We saw the hen and I've immediately forgotten it from Hakumen. I think it was every single slow option. It was like EX Shippu or something. Or not, maybe one copy of the Shippu, one copy of the Yukikaze.
Head stomp for that +1 speed.
Yep. Good boost.
Yep.
Good boost when you also add range to it, right? Also gains advantage as well.
Chun-Li also running out of places to run here. So, if you've got spinning bird kick on defense, you play it now. Another copy of Massive. Okay.
I mean, Hakumen still has 19 life, doesn't really need the passive clause on the Yukikaze just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And one's coming back very soon, with the reshuffle. So I'm totally okay with this. Just try to trade up.
Yep.
This gauge is not the best looking for Hakumen. I've seen better looking gauges.
Mm-hmm. See, so
I mean, there's a Zantetsu in there, there's a reading in there, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot of gas.
it's a
So I
prep.
think Chun just preps,
Prep.
yeah.
Okay, that's dangerous in this position, but you might have to do it.
Chun is a character that doesn't really have the best economy, so I mean,
Yeah.
prepping
At
is
some
fine.
point, you've got to prep. You just rather it not be in the
Yeah.
corner against the Hakumen is about to exceed.
I mean, Chun is blessed with the additional range means that like random dives will hit from and like dive is super good card into Hakumen.
Mm-hmm.
Um Chun with extra range. I mean, Spike is obviously just always a threat, regardless of the range or not. So it's fine, I think.
All right, here comes the exceed. It looks like.
Yep. We'll take a look at exceed side here. Your gauge costs are reduced to 0. So those really expensive, I mean, good ultras, but really expensive ultras, Yukikaze, Shippu are now free, as is Yakumetsu, as are all the gauge costs on the specials, including Tsubaki, funnily enough, which I didn't really recognize until last month.
Really, I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah,
But
so
that's 3 gauge for +3 power
Tsubaki
each.
boost
Wow,
is
so
just +3. It's
it's
just a
+3
+3
power
power
on your own.
boost.
I didn't know that either.
Yep.
All right, and we've got the reshuffle as part of the exceed action for Hakumen.
Yep. So Hawkman can't get decked out.
Yep, very very hard. Even with that 4 cards left, very hard to deck out a Hakumen. Again, my mentor is Taxi. I have been reliably assured that it is possible to deck out Hakumen, and Taxi I feel like would know.
Yes, but at the same time, I think it takes 2 to tango in that
I
scenario.
agree. He taught me the formula. He taught me how to read the game state to make sure that it's all right. Kikoken.
Ignore armor now
Ignore
strike.
armor now strike. So ending the boost war at 3.
Just really feels like dive to me.
I think that it is dive as well. Yeah, you are playing on curve dive into an ignore armor. You're dodging. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that he has that beats this actually.
I mean, Hawkman can have EX Assault. I think there's one Assault left in the deck before the reshuffle or something like that.
I think you're right.
And then Hawkman draws for end of turn, so could be EX Assault on deck for Hawkman.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's really nothing else that beats a dive. Dive also allows Chun to take long side of board, gives him more space to retreat.
Yep. Yeah. Dive is definitely the option if you have it, and I feel like if you don't have EX assault, well, you can't block and you can't wild swing for the assault. So Zantetsu. All right. So is this dive?
Zantetsu comes out. Oh, it's a grasp. It's just a rage 3 grasp.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, it's all right because you don't get caught by or Shippu doesn't do 8 damage to you, so
It's a situation where it's like the dive was so powerful that that's all I was thinking of. I would have gotten hit by the grasp too.
yeah, but at that point, like probably just wild swing his Aquaman, right? You're
Right.
just assuming that you're gonna lose the strike.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to get rid of a Zantetsu.
Yes, that's the big deal,
That's
right?
kind of cool. And now you're
Getting
now
rid of
you're
Zantetsu from hand, even.
yeah. Now you're
but
sitting at range 5 against Hakumen. Hakumen can definitely just start throwing
I mean,
Ipu down.
you get hit by 4 damage Shippu. It's not the end of the world.
Yep, you're still.
And of course, it's also Chun's
It's
turn.
Chun's
because she
turn.
gained
There's the other
advantage
swift
off
attack down.
The swift attack. Yep.
He also has Hosenka online at this point.
Good call out.
Hosenka can hit at this range. It's speed 5. So basically, if
it's speed 5, if you crit it, it's 11 power.
yeah, I mean, if Hakumen, do you have enough to crit 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh,
Yes,
you
there's
do.
5
Oh
gauge there.
God.
Yeah, Chun has been very quietly building gauge.
Yeah, come on, EX Hosenka.
Not EXs. One was meant for an ultra parry,
Oh,
but
you're right. I just think it'd be funny. All right, we're moving to 2.
yeah, don't die to Hosenka. Although I mean, Chun can still throw a faultless focus on it.
Oh yeah. Yep. So
Although
that other copy of
that's quite
Kikocho is down.
expensive. Is the thing. You only have 3 cards in your hand.
Yeah. So
You don't
it's
get
got to be pretty
advantage
much
either.
those 3 cards
Actually, you do get advantage. Hmm.
from Faultless Focus. Yeah.
Well,
All
because
right.
just this the power attack and stuff. Oh, that's a big crossover.
Yep. We're running out of the
That's
corner.
absolutely huge crossover from Shabacka.
Yep. And then you use the last bit of the movement comes from
Last little bit of
Chun-Li's.
juice.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
comes from the now it's a retreat. I love that
yeah.
for Chun. That's such a cool little move.
This is good evasive gameplay from Chun, just
Yeah.
not letting not. It's basically like Hakumen wants to interact with you when he succeeded,
Right.
but you as Hakumen's opponent do not want to interact with Hakumen.
Yeah. It's
So this
interesting.
is I'm liking this a lot from Chun. This evasive movement.
Yep, you're still threatening that +1 speed range 3 option. You've got you know, if you feel like making more space, you've got a cross that's pretty much unstoppable here.
Nope.
Teching
That's a +1 speed.
teching the
Gain
+1
advantage.
speed
So far really low value exceed side from
Hakumen
Hans.
so far, yeah.
Yeah.
That +1 speed, I mean, it's also +1 range.
Yep.
Lightning legs, okay. So this is actually just +1 range.
Yeah.
This is, I guess there's a rest of a boost on it, but you didn't retreat. This is a +1 range
On
boost.
big telegraphing cross here with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Big
that's
telegraph.
cross. I mean,
Could also be focused,
we
but
thought
I
it
don't
was
think
the
it is.
dive. We thought it was the dive last time, and we got mixed by the grasp. So I feel like Shabacka might actually have
That was a mix up.
yeah. There's definitely, especially when everything you have, like, this can be focus. I don't know. It can be whatever we want it to be. It's Chun-Li.
I don't think you're playing focus here, but
So at this
especially with your player read that Shabaka likes to read a lot.
at this point, if you cross out as Hakumen, Hosenka also still hits you.
I don't think Hakumen is crossing out. Hakumen doesn't have crosses.
Oh, you're right. Yep,
And,
both crosses are down on
and
Hakumen's
I
side.
like this is the point of time where you have 1 turn left of your gauge costs or reduced to 0.
Yeah, you have to
I
start
think
swinging.
it would be very sad if you got 0 damage off it.
You have to start swinging hard.
It can't even boost the Gurn anymore.
Yep.
Takes back the Yanagi.
The Yanagi in hand. Oh, striking.
Assuming this is just the Shippu, if I had to guess. I wonder if Chun is cheeky enough to respond with a spike.
Yeah, I mean you're playing at a.
The only issue with responding with spike is that the repeating attacks a May.
Yeah.
So you don't have to return the spike.
Yep.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, repeating attack is one of those things. Oh, wild swing.
I'm going for the wild swing. I mean, a lot of Chun's wild swings will hit here.
Ooh.
Kosho
Interesting.
is a good one.
Yeah, are you just okay with this? Yeah, it looks like
It depends on the rest of your deck comp,
looks like
right?
we're
It
validating
looks
the
like we are,
Kikosho.
yeah. I mean, you're only getting hit back for 4. It's a 5 for 4 trade.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Kosho gets returned to the top as well.
Run it again, right? Now you've got to
No,
absolutely. That's a really interesting. So sometimes repeating attack has some sauce to it. Sometimes you just get another copy of your ultra.
No, repeating attack's a good boost. It's just really bad with normals when your opponent's threatening a focus next turn, right?
Yeah. All right. So we've got reading a sweep.
So this could be spike, could also be cross is the thing. But I think you have to play like it's spike. The issue is,
does he have anything that
an
hits?
Answer to spike? You don't have an answer to spike this hand.
No, you do not. Wow, you really don't. You just wild swing here.
You got to wild swing, yeah.
If you're thinking it's spike, yeah.
Especially because according to my tracker, there's 2 spikes up. I don't know if your tracker says the same.
Yep.
But
Same. 2 spikes for both players, I think.
And we know Shabaka's the type of player to kind of make these aggressive readings. Yeah,
there's the wild swing.
It's
Ooh,
the Hosenka.
into the Hosenka. All right.
Well, I mean, focus gets stunned.
Yes, it does.
I guess you have to block there.
Yeah, there was.
I guess block was the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoops.
reading Hosenka. Wow. Okay, so no crit, but you didn't have the gauge for it. But
I am shocked that we went for Hosenka there.
yeah, it works.
I mean, it works,
Yeah,
but
this is the second. This is the second time that we've been completely and thoroughly mixed up by Shabaka's
I mean,
play.
that's a good mix up there.
Yeah.
So like what so he stayed at range 3,
Mhm.
which meant that Spike stayed in the mix up.
Yep.
That was actually
Yeah,
really
and
cleverly
that's
played
what.
there.
And there's plenty of things in that hand that could have responded to Hosenka, but you
Yeah.
thought it was a spike. That's
I mean,
really
there
interesting.
were 2 blocks in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really really interesting that you just don't play that.
That's actually really, really well played there from
Yeah,
Shabaka, I think.
it's I've seen a couple of things from Shabaka in other games where like they've worked and they've been very very spicy plays.
No, I mean that is a play that logically makes a ton of sense in hindsight.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I would never have
That's
thought of
such a
it
good
at the
play.
time.
That's
That's
such a good
really
play.
interesting. Right.
Dork God asking a question in chat. Is focus boost continuous? No, it is not.
Nope.
So you can still retreat with the UA as Chun, but you do not get extra range.
Yep. All right, +2 power as I don't know. You really want that grasp. You want to play fast when you got that life. Maybe you got another one.
I think you have to go. I mean, you have to start winning trades big. Is the thing is Hakumen when you're down 16-4.
There's a prep and there's +2 speed. So we got Way of the Warrior on deck.
Yep.
There's both copies of Assault.
Chun has 1 turn to strike here, where she doesn't have to worry about
Ooh.
Yukikaze.
Is that Faultless
And we're gonna
Focus?
see that happening right here. Yeah, it's the faultless focus. Stone Immune now strike. Retreat 1 as well. Are you forced to block here? I think you're forced to play an armored option as Hakumen
And
here.
and if Shabaka
You're
has the
kind of
soul
forced
read
to.
on the block, you just
Like,
spike here.
because like this could just be grasp is the issue. So it's just like, I mean, you could play Enma, I guess, but like Enma loses to something like a spinning bird kick.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's a good assault.
That's a
'cause it
really
gives
good assault.
advantage.
It also gets rid of
Hex the
both of those
boost, yeah.
boosts. Yeah, for free. Really, you paid your ultra boost to do 2 techs, and you got advantage afterward.
Dork God, Hosenka has a before close 2 claws on it, so it does not miss. It hits at range 4.
Yep, it's 1-4 with no boosts, and with that focus interaction.
The critical effect is just extra power.
Yeah, it's just +2.
Yep.
So you hit for 11 at 1-4.
Yep.
On curve at 4 too. It's a very powerful ultra.
Yeah. Hosenka is very good at closing out games in general.
All right.
Past turn boost here. This I refer to this as the past turn boost. Is
Yeah, kind of. Especially at this, like, you're hoping to win with the next strike as Chun. You might not be caring too much
you're
about.
You're not going to, because
There's another block.
There's a block and there's Yukikaze's up.
Right, Yukikaze is online now.
But you have to kind of force them out. I believe there's only 1 Yukikaze left though.
Yep, there is.
So that means that as Chun, you kind of have to like force it out. Parries it. That's one way to force it out. Parries the block. I mean, that's one less option.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
not
now you just play something that doesn't hit and go for the Yukikaze and try to bait it out that way.
I mean, you don't even have to do that. I mean, if Hakumen still has 4 HP left, you'd much rather have Hakumen at 1 HP than 4.
That's true. And you're also
back for 6.
You're also getting rid of
fine.
4 gauge. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. That's the important thing, right? Because you don't want Hakumen to have 3 Yukikazes later.
Right. That's very true.
You need to as Chun, you definitely need to force out the Yukikaze before Hakumen's able to exceed at 8 gauge. And I think Shabaka knows this because he's been playing rather aggressively.
Yeah, as soon as that exceed side wore off, Shabaka kind of pounced.
Yeah, for sure. This is a really bad position for Hakumen, actually. I'm not really sure how Hakumen is able to get out of this without some help from Shabaka, honestly. The one saving grace is that Shabaka is kind of low on options.
Yeah, honestly,
has like the spike.
I sort of feel like if you don't have an awesome boost as Chun in this position, you reshuffle.
Reshuffle.
Yeah,
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
If you've got an awesome boost, play it. But what do you have left at this point?
I just think you have to force the only problem with reshuffling is that it brings Hakumen 1 step closer to succeeding.
That's true.
and you really, really need to strike before Hakumen builds gauge number 8.
Yeah,
You have to strike.
that's true.
'Cause that's how Hakumen wins.
Yeah. So maybe you play a boost to back up one and then you dive.
Yeah.
That actually kind of beats everything he's got. Yeah.
I think there's a Gurren up, but other than that,
Yeah, if you got a speed boost, play it. You don't
mm,
anymore, I
Gun
don't
does not
think.
have speed
Yeah,
boosts
there's no
left.
more speed boosts left. Yeah, Gurren is live.
But but the thing is, right? It doesn't have to be dive, right? Chun can just cross
Yeah.
above curve, as we see the pass turn boost again, and now the +2 power means that the cross is now 5 damage, so you're
Yep.
basically forced to respond with an armored option.
Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gauge left. Reading.
Reading's a way to diffuse it, I guess.
I did not
It
track
was the
reading
last
correct.
card. It was the last card recurred. The,
Cross?
oh,
No,
the
no.
reading whiffs.
Reading
The reading
whiffs. Okay, what was the reading call? I'm interested.
It had to be a slow.
Yeah.
And it had to be a slow. Because there's no way Hawkman's spending 4 gauge here on this. Yeah, that's it. That's game.
That's game. Wow. Okay. So Shabacka with a very commanding win on the board.
Really, really good timings there from Shabacka. Really good movement. Like got out of the corner at the right time as well.
Yeah, extremely. Yeah, that crossplay was extremely clutch during that
Really took advantage of
sequence.
the passive play from Hans.
Yeah, honestly, what this felt like was a Chun-Li who plays Hakumen, who knows how Hakumen.
Yeah,
like, who
this
knows
looks
where
like a player that knows how to fight Hakumen.
Yeah, yeah, it's been very impressive to watch.
Like interacted at I love using the word interacted, but like interacted at the right times in Hakumen.
And I also wanna say that Hans has extreme confidence in his Hakumen.
Yes.
And less confidence in Plague.
And now we're going to the Plague.
This feels like Shabacka just kind of made Hans respect Chun a little bit and forced him off of his preferred character, which
the issues there were just Hakumen let Chun get 3 gauge right off the bat, and then Hakumen let Chun get 3 gauge in another strike as well.
Yep, and just brought it down in just a couple of hits.
And just kind of snowballed it, right?
It's really interesting. I think the psychology of switching is really, really interesting here. Where, like, if you think that you just got the brakes beaten off of you as a character and it wasn't close, you switch. If you think that I got debt comped, maybe things could have gone my way if it had gone differently, maybe you stay. But
felt like really just low value exceed as well from Hakumen.
Yeah,
like really low value.
Yeah, no, definitely. I, like, played around it incredibly well on Chun's side.
Yeah.
All right, so Plague Knight. I know you play. I
play a good amount of Plague Knight.
Yeah, I watched your Plague Knight into somebody's King Knight while I was in a Chimera Knights event.
I hated that game. That game sucked. That game was so bad.
I was testing out my overlay.
That game sucked for me.
I saw some really spicy Serum Supernus whiffs.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm gonna rely on you for Plague Knight here because I have no idea what he does and he discards a lot of cards that makes him hard to track.
Plague Knight generally, Plague Knight plays 3 big combats that tend to have high power and big numbers on them. With the Ultra Boost, generally Plan A is using the Ultra Boost to discard cards from your hands so that your UA becomes more consistent.
Sure.
Yep, and then you can tack on chain reactions for additional card draw. You can tack on, basically whatever you want. And then the other main Plague Knight play they have to watch out for is tacking on dive or assault to something.
And is that an EX attack or is this? Oh no, Mauling 2. Mauling 2. Okay.
I think it's a mulligan. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Good luck to you both.
I don't think there's a world where Plague
EXs with no UA 1 turn,
especially not Hans.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I've actually never seen Hans as Plague Knight in any context. The previous game that I casted for Hans, He played beheaded 2 games, lost once, and switched to Hakumen. I'm really interested
Interesting.
in seeing what Hakumen, what Hans does when he's forced off of his preferred character rather than forced onto his preferred character.
I will say one kind of annoying thing for Hawkman in that last match that I think we kind of glossed over a little bit is the retreat one
Oh yeah,
on a boost. It's super annoying.
yeah. Chun Li's okay. So we're moving right in.
Run to one.
Interesting. So maybe no special boosts to try to get Gage here as Chun.
I mean, run to ones. Well, long pitch kind of dominates you, right?
Okay, fair point.
Long pitch is
Yep,
speed
three to
5 is
three to
5
five, speed
power.
to 5. Yep, and
Yeah.
guess what? You had it in your hand, and now you don't. All right. So the cross and the long pitch.
So it's the unexpected results. Now advance retreat 2, hit the top, reveal the top card of your deck. Either gauge it or give yourself a fierce effect depending on whether it's a
Whether it's a
special
normal or not.
or
Yep.
normal or not. Yeah.
Okay.
Play get range 2 has a speed 7 option, notably.
There's that early
So we see
parry
the
again we
parry.
see from Shabacka.
Parries the cross. Well, that's a very interesting parry, seeing how Hans paid
Paid
cross.
cross in the first place. See, I really do think that he sometimes is just searching for hand information when he does
Yes,
this.
he looked for handed for. That's so interesting.
Yeah, this
'cause
is
you don't. Generally, that's seen as like a not a very good play.
Mhm. Well, he keeps on accidentally getting targets. Like he's successfully he parried a Yanagi first or second turn last game.
Yeah. And that was such a weird parry too, because like it actually like Yanagi's a card that just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Into Chun especially.
Yeah. So I mean, you still have like there's an above curve option here, with that it's a staff of surging down with perfect pitch. So you're not even like robbing your opponent of a fast option by doing that.
Well, you're not robbing them of the fastest option, and not only that, you're robbing them of a fast option that is less likely to be buried.
Right.
Like, who knew that Hans had EX cross in hand? I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have fast slow mix up here from playing with the frantic research. Wouldn't be surprised if it's just the 5, like a potential 5 power perfect pitch.
When does Plague's
after
UA go off? Okay. Yep. So no UA expenditure unless he.
Yeah, so on offense, Plague, you can't get surprised by it. You know what's coming. On defense, you can get surprised by it.
Yep. So he will use it.
That's spicy. Normally, you don't see people attaching a Plague Knight UA right away. Unless they're on low cards.
Oh, telling him to grab one.
Hans is
Whoa,
just way. Oh,
hold on.
So we have after draw. That I mean, congrats! You've now spent to draw a card. Not only that, I mean, Brew in and of its own, you can reliably play 2 Castle Crashers in a Berserk.
Ooh.
Speaking of Spike,
Okay.
wow. Spike is a weird one there. You're playing into a potential Fierce. Spike is a weird defensive play there. I don't like that.
All right, and
it will be gauged.
Yep. Get gauged for free.
They're only 5 power. I don't know. Spike just feels like it beats. Spike beats range 2 sweep.
Was that 5 power?
No. Well, I mean, it's a Spike. Oh, yeah. Shabacka took 7.
Yeah, why did Shabacka take 7 there?
Because I think he just didn't read the full card.
Yeah, just missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but Spike's a really weird defensive option there.
Early reading.
Okay, I mean, I guess this
reading focus with the other Spike. Okay, you take 5 as well.
This is very. That's very funny.
Yeah.
I guess you're just spot on these parries.
Yeah, I guess so. And it looks like we got a very early exceed. All right, now you have your cool embroidered cloak as Plague Knight.
Yep, and Plague can now discard 2 cards instead of 1 card.
Yep,
and one after the other as well.
And yeah, it's not at the same time, right? You decide after you see the attack, or no, you decide after you see what you've discarded, rather.
Yeah.
Okay, very different Chun-Li here. Not really going for the gauge plays. Maybe has like honestly, we've seen nothing but normals.
Just doesn't have it. Maybe
has came in with a handful of normals and is fighting with a handful of normals.
I mean, we saw the cards that John is using here, right?
Yeah. Striking with UA once. We'll see if it goes again.
This is aggressive UA usage. Now you've dropped a Serum Supernus too. These guys really have to get on the same page. I see. This is not how you're supposed to use. This is supposed to use Plague UA.
Yeah, you're kind of running yourself out of options for later when these strikes are
I don't.
more.
I don't like this at all. Um, like you really you really want to be boosting Serum Supernus so that way you guarantee your okay. I mean, sweep it a sweep crushes the sweep.
Yeah, so take 8.
So I guess not really punished for like weird usage on the Plague UA. In fact, rewarded for it if anything.
Yeah, interesting.
So I mean, I'm assuming Chun again just expected either assault or perfect pitch, but
Yeah,
neither of those played out.
this is a
Weird
a
because
couple of very chunky strikes out of Plague Knight. It's
Plague
interesting.
is
You're
yeah,
you
Plague is not playing the traditional Plague style.
you've mentioned that Plague Knight tends to do a couple very high value strikes. I think the expectation is that it's a little bit later in the game.
No, not necessarily. It can be early in the game because you can just attack on a chain reaction.
That's true.
With an after, right?
Or maybe
But
it's
it's just using the ultra boost.
right. Prepping again, so really just giving Plague Knight a huge amount of momentum if he wants to take it. Okay, so Faultless Focus comes down with Lightning Legs as the cost.
It just feels like really expensive faultless
I
focus.
agree. I mean, you're getting advantage out of it. I'm sorry, you're getting a gauge out
Getting
of it if you
gauge number
hit.
3, but it's I don't know, faultless focus is Sun immunities are a really great way to close out games,
Yeah,
but like in the early game, like I guess it's almost the mid game, but like right now it just feels maybe
it's
it's just the only hit boost he's got, hit activation he's got.
it's the only gauge it's only I'm sorry, it's only the mid game for Shabacka though. It's still early game. Okay.
You see, I mean, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
assault. So this is very clearly just hey, now I have 3 gauge.
Now I have 3 gauge and it's my turn. So
Yeah, but like
do you exceed right now
yeah,
into
I
range 1
mean,
Plague Knight?
what's your win con?
Now you're
If you don't
exceeded and
exceed,
now you're a real
yeah,
character.
now you
Yeah.
have a win con. It's gonna
Yeah.
take a while.
But yeah, so assault like you can get your exceed right away, but you're not.
I mean, yeah, that stun immunity was just for gauge
It
number
really
3. It
was.
just
Yeah.
was very expensive.
Another prep. Okay.
Now, I mean, now you have some room for maneuverability.
Mhm.
Your range 2 grasp is a little bit uncontestable now outside the perfect pitch.
Yep. As long as you're initiating with it.
Yeah, because both focuses are down.
Mhm.
There's a world where like you can kind of read them.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
Oh,
about how
but
different a game this would be if that 8-power sweep didn't go off completely uncontested.
immensely different.
Yeah.
Immensely different.
Another prep from Shabacka as well.
I mean, now here's the thing. Chun's only at 13 HP.
Mhm.
You don't really need too many more ultra boosts if you're playing Knight to win
Right.
this game.
Carrying
Like you can just
Hosenka.
brawl.
Interesting use
Parry
of
Hosenka,
Hosenka
that's such a weird
when
parry in
you
this
have 4
scenario.
gauge.
That's such a weird parry in this scenario.
Interesting.
And yeah, I agree with you there. I would much preferred if parry comes out parrying like a threat that's actually relevant.
Yeah.
Because if you get ultra parried here, right? Who
Yeah.
cares? Did Hans draw for end of turn? I don't know if he did.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he had no. Now he is. There we go.
No, yes, okay. Because he didn't resolve the block yet, technically.
Right.
But
Yeah, I was still on. All right. Get rid of those normals.
DC2, yeah. Wait, what? What happened there?
I'm not sure what happened there.
He
Oh.
like reshuffled. I have to
Yeah.
rewind time.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
I'm just doing it. We're doing it.
No, that's fine. Repopulate the world.
Yeah. There it is.
Hopefully Shabacka doesn't let that rattle him. All right. The blocks are in their proper place. I think he has just reshuffled. I know he hasn't reshuffled yet, but he's put everything down. Actually,
The only thing is whether he is his end of turn draw or not.
yeah, I think that he just needs to draw for end of turn.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
No, do not reshuffle. Hang on. Okay, never mind. All right.
Oh, okay.
Now you draw.
Wait.
Hans's TTS is
Okay.
broken.
You might have to reload the room. Oh. It'll fix if it reloads. I know what happened. It's like
Cards are
you see these
invisible.
boards. Oh. Oh, let's try. That work? Oh, you might just have to reload. Just reload the room.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with your opponent's cards. Just reload the room.
Yep. Yeah, so I think there we go. Baka does the same thing. All right, quick. Let's look
Did
at
your
all the
cards
stuff
load?
they have.
I mean, we technically Chun's deck should be shuffled because there was definitely a Hosenka at the bottom of that deck.
Mm.
I mean, you saw it, right? I saw it.
I didn't actually. I was typing at the time
So
trying
Hans
to.
accidentally flipped both the discard and the deck
Ah,
over. But Chan's deck, and
right.
there's a Hosenka at the bottom.
Should we tell Shabaka to reshuffle?
Yeah, I honestly, yeah,
Yeah, hang on.
I would. Like he's drawn for end of turn, which is fine, just for the next turn, just because I mean, I know the bottom card's Hosenka.
Yep. I did not, but I will follow your lead on it, and we won't give either player any advantage or disadvantage. Right.
Well, the only reason I know it's Hosenka was because I saw a red border and I didn't see like a giant.
A huge
I didn't see a
Kamehameha.
huge Chun face. Yeah, I didn't see the Chun smolder.
Yep.
It is Hans' turn. We are back. TTS should like when you reload the room, it fixes
Yeah.
these problems generally.
Things are mostly okay. Make sure.
Continue.
Okay. So it is in
All right,
fact
Plague Knight's turn.
Plague Knight's turn.
Yeah. Like I was alluding to earlier, actually not really punished for spending those ultras like that.
Yeah.
Because he ended up getting massive value out of the
Yeah.
Castle Crusher with the +2 power,
Just
which I didn't really expect to happen.
in ways that yeah, I'm not sure anybody expected it to happen. Maybe Hans did, but with the amount of cards he had in his hand, maybe everything he had would have worked.
Well, clearly not, because he discarded a block.
Good point.
You see an expenditure of 1 force in the
One
form of the
force
assault to move
with
to range
a
2.
with a the perfect pitch is definitely online here.
Well, I mean, you're expecting Chun to boost and retreat.
True. And you're giving her the turn to do
But
it.
like the thing is, I was thinking that maybe this is like a weird thing that Plague Knight has an EX Assault on deck
Mhm.
to try to counter the range 3.
Mhm.
And Chun doesn't even move to range 3. She just boosts power attack and threatens the range 2 grasp.
Right.
I don't know, that's a weird one. Moving to range 2 and then Chun letting it go through. Does Chun have EX grasp up?
Yes.
Yeah, she does. To counter the perfect pitch,
Right.
at the very least.
Right.
Or not,
So if you're
yeah,
initiating
perfect
here,
pitch.
this feels like perfect pitch. So you're either playing like what?
Either that or Plague Knight for 3 turns has struck at range 2 and threatened the perfect pitch.
And just hasn't
Just hasn't played it. Yeah, hasn't played it yet, rather.
yeah, interesting especially to see your ooh, okay. Spike into okay.
And doesn't play it again.
Yep. Maybe just doesn't have it.
Doesn't have it or just playing the mix-ups. So we have 4 power grasp. moving Plague to range 1. Plague not stunned,
range
but can't
1,
hit,
yep.
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting, because Plague could have gotten pushed back to range 4.
Yeah, Perfect Pitch is still
Where
online, but
Long Pitch would be
I'm
online
sorry,
for
Long
Plague.
Pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ultra Parry.
Hold on. One thing that's do. Okay, never mind. They
And
did it.
getting rid of the Kikosho to do it, too.
I mean, if you're gonna spend a card, it's gotta be the Kakosha, right? You don't want to spend 2 cards from your hand.
Sure.
Say hand of EX Chain Reaction, Giant Bomb, Perfect Pitch, Staff of Surging.
And looks like a dive went down, too.
Really no value out of this Hozenka.
Right.
Where Hozenka, or no value of the Ultra Parry,
Right.
where Hozenka could have been a win con.
Yeah. I mean,
Still has the Hozenka left in the deck, but
Shabacka did finally get the hand information that he seems to want so badly.
yeah, but what are you gonna do with this
Now what does he do with it exactly? This also maybe telegraphs that you have a reading in play. If you were that.
Well, no, you never, because you can't Ultra Parry in reading.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Either,
you're right.
either all the normals get discarded,
Yeah.
or there are no normals.
There are no
left.
normals. I actually, I see Ultra Parry happen so rarely. Because Hosenka is such a cool attack that I'm actually
a cool attack.
I'm actually
and
kind
not
of
very many Chun players either.
Right. I'm actually because I play a little bit of Chun. I just I've never used that attack or that boost.
I don't play. I think I've only played maybe 3 or 4 games as Chun, but generally I Ultra Parry early if I have it, and then Hosenka late.
All right, so we're back at 2. I mean, big scary spinning bird kick is a real threat here. Dive.
Kind of. Yeah, dive is the big one.
Dive is real scary here.
Although diving to short side of board is maybe not great.
Right, especially because you need to get back out again. You do have both copies of Spinning Bird Kick online if you want to get back out again, though.
Yeah.
Sunlee definitely doesn't have a problem with that. Yeah, I'm looking at what hasn't been spent, and both players actually have been playing almost entirely normals.
Normals,
yeah. This has been very normals man exceed.
The big difference there is definitely that one sweep turn.
Yeah, that sweep turn. Honestly, I mean, that would have equalized the life totals right there.
Yeah.
It was just
I mean, that's just a huge swing.
Yep.
Like, Chun loses sweep.
Yep, loses 8 life to it.
Yeah. Here comes the Berserker's Brew. Wait, why were you layering it over on top of our other boost? Wait, was there another boost there for play,
I don't think so.
Oh, weird.
Maybe a TTS glitch.
Yeah.
And maybe. An EX attack.
EX perfect pitch, right?
Right, for 1 billion damage.
This is 7 power. Yep. Chun does not have EX grasp, can't respond with that.
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing that this could be, I mean, it could be chain reaction or it can be perfect pitch, and it's perfect pitch.
Oh wait, there was a chain reaction in the hands. I don't think it is chain reaction.
Yeah, I think it's just. Oh yeah, light is online, isn't it? So you cross here, and you're still fine, aren't you?
No, chain reaction is speed 8.
You're right.
Perfect pitch is speed 8.
Is speed 8? You're right.
You're never playing a speed 6 into this.
You're right.
The only thing that Chun could do in theory is an EX grasp, but that's not available.
Right. So do you just focus? I'm actually. I'm not sure.
You focus if you have it. There's really no other option for Chun, right?
Yeah.
She's down both blocks. It's a 2. It's what 2/7/7.
Yeah.
Wait, there's an EX.
An EX online into
EX spinning bird kick gets stunned.
Was it? You're right. 7 power stunned. That is a pretty major misread of the situation. Yeah.
That's not correct.
Yeah, spending a huge amount of resources. That might actually just be kind of game right there. So this is I don't want to write off Shabacka's chances here. But again, just in terms of the psychology of the players, I'm wondering at what point there goes Kikoken. I'm wondering at what point you start thinking about your next game. Right? Like, at some point, you need to start deciding, am I going to get data for the rest of this game and try to win next game, or am I going to try to crawl this back with a 12 life deficit
isn't the best way to get data just
Keep
play
trying
your
to win.
hardest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true.
So,
But I'm also thinking like, is Shabaka thinking about, do I want to switch off Chun here, or is this matchup inexperience and it could have gone the other way?
oh, but like, why think about that? It's like a 30-second decision you have to make,
That's
and
true.
it's not like, and you have time in between games to think about it.
Yeah.
You can just say, oh, I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm not saying that it's a rational decision on Shabaka's part. Another EX attack. So this is chain
I
reaction.
mean, this is chain reaction. Yeah.
Um, uh, I'm wondering if Shabaka can stop himself from thinking about stuff like that.
Oh, like the mental game? I
Exactly.
mean, I don't know. I don't know him at all. So I mean, that's
Yeah,
just right.
I'm interested to see whether or not uh he can maintain through to the rest of this game, or if he's already thinking about, well, do I bring Guile in next game or do I stick with Chun?
Oh, I mean, it's very unlikely that Chun wins this game. I think
I agree. Yep.
it's very unlikely. Chun needs time to escalate, and Plague still has a Castle Crusher left, I believe. That the card tracker's all off, by the way. Don't look at that. Don't look at mine, by the way.
Yeah, I think
It's
mine
all
might be
off.
doing okay, but I wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, Cross is not going to do it.
Nope, Cross doesn't do it. That's if not game, it's
That's game. Yeah,
yeah,
that's game because +2 power is attached onto it.
yep. All right.
So really, I didn't like Plague's early decisions, but they worked
They worked
out.
out very well, yeah. All right, so
What if Plague made those
Hans.
decisions because Hans felt like he needed to play really, really aggressively into Chun, and
Yep.
that was the best way to do it?
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, even though like he did discard a triple dose really early on, which could have been an alternate way to kind of handle that,
Mhm.
but I got the +2 power discard, making that sweep pop this sweep. Couple questionable defensive plays from Chun there, I think.
Especially at the end. That
And especially at the end, but also in the beginning as well. Like, actually, maybe the sweep was okay if you just read Assault or Perfect Pitch, but it's just risky, right? Maybe Chun just didn't have a better option.
right. It to me it reads like matchup inexperience. To me, this reads like like I'm playing into Plague Knight because I don't particularly know how Plague Knight works either.
Mhm.
Um, and
It could be, yeah.
I also think that it's pretty telling that the first like 5 turns of the game we saw Chun play nothing but normals.
Yeah,
Like,
there was definitely a hand
yeah,
situation
there
there.
was a major difference in gameplay. Like it
But, like,
doesn't
even turn one, like that defensive spike is so weird. It
it
just never.
it
As you can
doesn't
see the spike get mold.
it doesn't make a ton of sense to me unless it's a hand composition situation where Chun-Li plays very passively and patiently into Hakumen and then plays hyper aggressive into Plague Knight. Like hyper aggressive
But
without.
if it's a hand situation, maybe I mean maybe just because they're new, but like if it's a hand situation, you just wild swing there
Sure, sure, yeah.
as Chun. You
I'm
don't
I'm
drop the card because you need cards in your hand as Chun.
I'm thinking more about like what boosts can you play to get your gauge online, right? Like that line of play,
Okay.
rapid fire exceed. You don't have that, and you were playing that and playing very patiently and carefully into Hakumen, a
hmm
character who punishes patient play. Uh, and then you are abandoning that strategy against Plague Knight. To me, that says that you just didn't have the cards in hand that you needed, and maybe
hmm
CCing for them was a better option in hindsight.
hmm hmm And definitely something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what I noticed first and foremost was I think the defensive options from Chun were very poor that
Yeah,
game.
the EX
That was wow. We'll go for turn one reading.
turn one reading. Let's go, boys.
Turn one reading dive, playing spinning bird kick maybe. Flipping axe kick as well. What happens if you're met with jazz hands? Then I hope it's flipping axe kick. It is jazz hands. I think you play jazz hands here if you're playing, yeah. And it pops the spinning bird kick.
Wow.
It's all gone wrong.
Yeah, everything's gone wrong here.
It's all gone wrong. These are the kind of readings that sometimes win you games, but they
Yeah.
lose you games too.
Yeah, I mean, if you are, yeah, there's that sad face. If you are, I tend to agree with Hans here. That is a bad start. If you are desperately looking for a positive in this situation, both copies of
Both your both
of
techs you
of
don't have
tech
to deal
being
with.
down. Yeah,
Well, not
but
only that, but now you don't have to deal with grafting on dive to random attacks, right?
yeah,
But I
it
hate that. I
there's
don't like that play at all. It's too aggressive.
there's absolutely no way that you are happy with that play.
I don't know, I just don't like it at all. Like just build resources, just
Yeah,
prep, just do anything.
yeah.
Like yeah, I'm not like you're not playing into Hawkman anymore, so you don't need to.
You don't need to aggress.
Yeah, you don't need to aggress too much.
And
That's
and
way too
and
much.
you also didn't aggress that much into Hakumen, and it was very successful.
And not only that, I mean, if you're gonna aggress, at least play the option that beats the EX,
Mm,
because Hans only mulled one.
yeah, that's something that I would have fallen for too. Um, I don't think I would have done the turn one reading, but I may read something and then not account for the
Not
EX.
consider the EX.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, right? Sometimes you have to take that kind of risk because we see Hans strike here, no cards. I mean, Hans does. You do have a weird mix-up option in the Staff of Surging, which is a 1/2/6 ignore guard beats sweep loses to focus.
Mhm.
Counters defend reliably as well. It is a Staff of Surging, beating out the head stomp, 1 damage. Staff of Surging will get the stun off, so Plague will draw 2 cards off that as
Yep.
well.
So really uh even with just 1 damage, that like that opening those opening plays, you got no gauge to show for it.
Yeah,
Uh
you have no gauge. You have to prep a couple times
play
just because you have no hands.
Plague is probably going to exceed. Oh nope, striking again. It must have
Striking again, probably just a sweep.
yeah, you've got the positioning for it.
Yeah, you have long side of board. I mean, Chun probably just if you're playing, you small blood in the water here.
Yeah.
You're trying to deal as much damage as
Just keep
possible.
pressing that advantage as
Yeah,
best you can.
yeah. I mean, same thing, literal same card.
Yeah, basically the same card.
6 for 6. Plague totally happy with that.
Oh yeah, at his life total.
Retreats to range 2 as well. Drops the perfect
He
pitch.
was perfect pitch. That helps your range 2 game quite a bit as Chun if you can
Yeah,
get the other copy of
your
that
mix
down.
up is worse.
Yep.
Unless, or your mix up's better if you have the second copy, depending.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Your short term mix up at least.
Yeah.
Clearly they won't have another one.
Yep. So we see the flipping axe power attack come out.
Okay.
No
Not
retreat.
moving back.
Flipping axe kick, cross, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise Plague didn't just like initiate a cross. Didn't
Yeah.
have it probably.
I mean that maybe that says that you have the other copy of perfect pitch.
Mhm. So we see Chun initiate a strike. I mean, cross spike mix up, I
Perfect pitch.
guess.
Let's go.
Perfect pitch number 2
Yeah.
calls out the yeah. Wow. I mean, we saw it coming, right?
Yeah. Just a
Perfect pitch yoinks a card as well.
yeah, just a brutal early game. The other cross, you had the EX
Oh,
cross.
he had EX cross.
You had the EX cross, and you didn't.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
you didn't think you had perfect pitch to play around.
Didn't think he had the second perfect pitch.
This
and
is a
things
this
have
is
gone
a
from
back
bad to
this is a
worse.
back-breaking early game for Shabacka.
It's so bad.
I'm wondering how you get out of this.
This game's almost over. Legitimately,
Yeah, it really is. Just some really devastating early
it will
plays.
take 2 mistakes from Plague Knight for Chun to get back to this game. And yeah, here come the ultra boosts. Here comes the Berserker's Brew. Just spend the full 3. Honestly. Yep. And there's the full 3. And now you just play on. Actually, you did spend. I guess you don't even need to play on curve here.
No, the crosses
Because
are down.
you just saw EX cross drop. I mean,
Yeah.
Chun has lightning legs, right?
Yeah.
If you run into that, that's a bad thing. That's not beating anything, I feel like. We're discarding
Long pitch.
+1 force for +2 power. Surely Hans is not playing a spike here, because I think that's the one big mistake that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You don't have a second one.
A second. No, yeah, you're not. You're not exceeded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just assault,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
You
this
don't
spinning
need to
bird
play
kick's
on
not beating
curve.
anything, unfortunately. That's going to be a 7 power assault, can be up to 9 power.
Good
if
lord. Yeah.
Plague spends 1 force, and yeah, he does.
And was that the spinning bird kick down? Yeah.
And I pack it up.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know if there's a way back from this. With advantage, strike again,
Yeah,
wild swing,
and yeah,
sweep for the
that's it.
kill.
That's game.
Yeah, that's game. Oh, GG.
It's just it's just full aggression the second game.
Yep. Yep.
Chun just spends 2 cards, turn 1 willy-nilly, and just loses the game off it.
Yeah.
Well, not I mean that's a little bit of hyperbole, but also not
Well,
really.
I mean, no, not really. It's a situation
And
where
not
like
really, yeah.
where I think that despite winning, I'm sorry, despite losing this game, Shabacka had more control over the outcome maybe than Hans did in
Oh
some
no,
ways.
this game was definitely lost by Shabacka.
I think so, and it is hard to say that, and it may be hard to hear that, but I think that there were a couple of simple misplays in both losing games as Shabacka, especially after we saw a
Dominant performance
a
of the
monster
Hackman, right?
performance from the first game.
Yeah.
Like we know that Shabacka can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well played
It's a
by
little
both
bit,
of you
a little bit
guys.
overzealous, I think, against the Plague Knight
Yep,
in both games.
it really did feel like they didn't know what to expect out of the Plague Knight and maybe weren't labbing it. I think that Hans has been repping Hakumen vocally so hard that maybe they over prepared for that and under prepared for Plague.
Underprepared for the Plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna tell.
Wait, do you do like an interview situation? What's going on?
No, I'm just making sure that they update the results.
Okay. So
Submit the
Hans
results.
makes the semifinals of your tournament. I have your bracket up actually.
Yep.
We'll fight Snow Katsune, a player I've actually casted before.
Mhm.
I casted them in Summer Bash. Sorry, Summer Smash is what we call it in Yummy. Summer Bash. I don't remember very much about it, but you can check it out on my channel, I guess.
All right. So I think as we're winding down here, unless you want to do anything more with the competitors, I think we can let them go
No.
and stop recording, stop streaming.
For sure.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure, Gear.
It was
It was a
great.
pleasure having you
Yeah,
here.
I've been wanting to cast with you for a while. I'm really excited I got to do it.
Yeah, we should do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
The only issue is all the games in your tournament just happen during weekday afternoons.
Yeah.
And it's just like an awful time.
Yeah, it's been a lot of the way that seating worked out has been a lot of like cross continental, cross time zone difficulties. Hopefully that will start to abate a little bit as we get a little bit closer to the finals, and we'll be able to have you on again.
And these were exciting games to watch as well.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
So, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy the content, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, follow, all that. Go to Gear's channel as well. I'll put a link to that in the description somewhere. If you want to just DM it to me, so I don't have to find it.
Yeah, of course.
But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.